Hey guys, Miss Murder here, bringing you another type of online scam, how they do it, and how to avoid being caught in the net. Today we're going to talk about dating and romance scams. So generally, dating and romance scams often take place through online dating websites, but scammers may also use social media or email to make contact. They have even been known to telephone victims as a first introduction, and these scams are also known as catfishing. I plan on doing some interesting catfishing episodes down the track, so stay tuned for that. But scammers typically create fake online profiles designed to lure you in. They pretty much always use a fictional name or falsely take on the identities of real trusted people, such as military personnel and workers or professionals working abroad. That's probably red flag number one. Dating and romance scammers will express strong emotions for you in a relatively short period of time, and they won't ask you for anything, but they'll suggest you move the relationship away from the website to a more private channel like phone, email, or instant messaging. They often claim to be from Australia or another Western country, but travelling or working overseas. Scammers will go to great lengths to gain your interest and trust, such as showering you with loving words, sharing personal information, and even sending you gifts. They may take months to build what may feel like the romance of a lifetime, and may even pretend to book flights to visit you but never actually come and see you. Once they've gained your trust and your defences are down, they will ask you either subtly or directly for money, gifts, or your banking credit card details. They may also ask you to send pictures or videos of yourself, possibly of an intimate nature. Quite often in these scenarios, the scammer will pretend to need money for some sort of personal emergency. For example, they may claim to have a severely ill family member who requires immediate medical attention, such as an expensive operation, or they may claim financial hardship due to an unfortunate run of bad luck, such as a failed business or mugging in the street. The scammer may also claim they want to travel to visit you but cannot afford it unless you are able to lend them the money to cover flights or other travel expenses. Sometimes the scammer will send you valuable items like laptops and mobile phones and ask you to resend them somewhere. They'll invent some reason why they need you to send the goods, but this is just a way for them to cover up their criminal activity. Alternatively, they might ask you to buy the goods yourself and send them somewhere. You might even be asked to accept the money into your bank account and then transfer it to someone else. But a warning about this, those scenarios are very likely to be forms of money laundering, which is a criminal offence, so you should never agree to transfer money for someone else, particularly to or from your own bank account. Sometimes the scammer will tell you about a large amount of money or gold that they need to transfer out of their country and offer you a share of it. They will tell you that they need your money to cover administrative fees or taxes. Dating and romance scammers can also pose a risk to your personal safety, as they are often part of an international criminal network, and they may attempt to lure their victims overseas, which puts you in a dangerous situation that can have tragic consequences, and it has in the past many times. Regardless of how you're scammed, you could end up losing a lot of money. Online dating and romance scams cheat Australians out of millions every year. The money you send to scammers is almost always impossible to recover, and in addition, you may feel long-lasting emotional betrayal at the hands of someone you thought loved you. Remember, this can happen to even the smartest and intelligent of people, doctors, lawyers. No matter what your field, you might be intelligent, but you can still be vulnerable, particularly with these romance scams if you are feeling lonely or anything like that. Some of the smartest people have lost millions of dollars. So I've just mentioned some scenarios that might happen, but here are some warning signs for you that may help prevent you from being lured into a romance or love scam. So you meet someone online, and just after a few messages or contacts, they profess strong feelings for you and ask to chat with you privately. That's a big red flag. If you met on a dating site, they will try and move you away from that website, that dating site, and communicate via chat or email. If their profile on the internet dating website or their Facebook page is not consistent with what they tell you, that this is another big red flag. For example, their profile picture looks different to their description of themselves, or they say they are university educated but their English is poor. So after gaining your trust, often waiting weeks, months, sometimes even years, they'll tell you an elaborate story and ask for money, gifts, or your bank account and credit card details. Don't give these out, no matter how long you've been speaking to them. Their messages are often poorly written, vague, and escalate quickly from introduction to love. If you don't send money straight away, their messages and calls may become more desperate, persistent, or even direct in some circumstances. If you do send money, they continue to ask you to send more. If they don't keep their promises and always have an excuse for why they can't travel to meet you and why they always need more money, or if they come up with a bunch of stories as to why they can't video chat you when you request it. Now that you know some of the scenarios and the red flags, these are some of the ways you can protect yourself. Never send money to someone you haven't met in person. I think this is a given. Always consider the possibility that the approach may be a scam, particularly if the warning signs that I've mentioned appear. Try to remove the emotion from your decision making, no matter how caring or persistent the partner is. Do an image search of your admirer to help determine if they really are who they say they are. You can use image search services like Google or TinEye. I'll link to those in the description. Be alert to things like spelling and grammar mistakes, inconsistencies in their stories, and other signs that it's a scam, like their camera never working if you want to Skype each other. Be cautious when sharing personal pictures or videos with prospective partners, especially if you've never met them before. Scammers are known to blackmail their targets using compromising material. I highly recommend you don't travel overseas to meet someone you have never met before. Consider websites like smarttraveller.gov.au before making any plans. I'll link to that in the description as well. Be wary of requests for money. Never send money or give credit card details, online account details, or copies of important personal documents to anyone you don't know or trust. Avoid any arrangement with a stranger that asks for upfront payment via money order, wire transfer, international funds transfer, preloaded cards, or electronic currency like Bitcoin. It's rare to recover money sent this way. Do not agree to transfer money for someone else. Money laundering is a criminal offence, as I previously mentioned. And be very careful about how much personal information you share on social network sites. Scammers can use your information and pictures to create a fake identity or to target you with a scam. If you think you've been scammed, report it to the website, app, or social media site where the scammer first approached you. Let them know the scammer's profile name and any other details that may help them to stop others being scammed. If you think you have provided your account details to a scammer, contact your bank or financial institution immediately. You can also report scams to the ACCC in Australia via their Report a Scam page. I'll link that in the description. This helps them to warn people about current scams, monitor trends, and disrupt scams where possible. So include as much detail as you can of the scam or contact you received. Emails and screenshots will help them.